Hello. So we're walking on a different road that I haven't taken you guys on. It's kind of the back streets between kind of where I'm staying to where I used to stay. And this is where I think I want to go. Yes, this is it. This is cool. Look at this. Look at this. I'm going to get a photo of this actually. I'm going to buff out for a second. I found this on a walk one day and Paul says to me, "Oh man, that was a place I was going to show you. I thought you'd really like it." I loved it. This is really cool. It's like it's just a long, narrow thoroughway. And then, bikes come screaming through. So I slow down, I'll just stop. So let them go through. Oh, got too much light there. There we go. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. There's a little light coming through here. So anyway, I like it. It's really cool. And I did do a Dancing with Dora through here. Like everything, it's buried in one of my hard drives. Here comes another car. Bike. Stop so I can get through. So this will take us right out to the beach. Oh, poor doggy. I think it got lost. 26th of March, it got lost. Poor thing. Probably wouldn't be going down this alleyway late at night, right? Mum, if you're watching, no, I wouldn't be going down this late at night. Only doing it because it's daylight. So, I'm back in Bali, guys. And there's always an adventure, guys. The flight from Lebrun Baja was easy as. I can't believe it. AirAsia was like literally on time. It was amazing. AirAsia has got a bad rap for being, late. So that was great. And then when I got into the airport in Dempsey, I thought, you know what? Let's catch the bus. There's a local bus. And I saw the sign that said bus. So I just followed all the signs and I was waiting for the bus. And we have a few people to the chat. Who we got there? Circuit Marie. Hello, Circuit Marie. And Nana's Recipes. How you going? Do you like this alleyway? It's a pretty long alleyway. Bikes can only get through here, obviously. And then we're going to end up at the beach. So we're back in Bali and I caught the bus. So I caught the local bus and get this right, the local bus is only 50 cents. No one catches it because I don't think anyone knows that it really exists really. It's only kind of a new initiative that Bali's opened up. And the problem is, because I found the problem straight away, I went to pay on my Visa card, right? They don't take cash, but you actually need like a transport card. So I actually had to ask someone on the bus to pay for me. Yep, I did. That's embarrassing, but it is what it is. All right, now we are at the beach. Oh, actually, let me show you something. It's a really giant lying down Buddha, which is interesting because Hindus, this island's very Hindu-like. They're not into Buddhas. So we've got a giant Buddha, gold Buddha. Are you trying to mug someone? No thanks. Do you speak Indonesian, Dora? Sedikit. Saya mama orang Indonesian. Saya bisa sedikit bahasa. So really, no, I can't really speak much English, Bahasa at all. I'm pretty bad. I probably can understand it better than I can talk it back. If I hear some music, guys, I'm gonna mute because I don't get the copyright. Okay, hopefully we're further enough away. That band was really good actually. They were playing a bit of Bob Marley. There's a lot of dogs down here this afternoon. I do like seeing dogs on the beach. It's not something that I see back home in Australia very often because dogs have allocated areas where I live in Australia. But obviously in Bali, there is no kind of allocated. It's basically dogs can go anywhere and they're living their best lives, right? Very good, you're a local. You're very polite, right? So yeah, I caught the local bus and I knew where it stopped. So I knew that from the local bus, if I got outside the area of where the bus drops you, I could get a cheap cab, but a metered cab. Obviously in Bali, it's best to get the Bluebirds. They're metered taxis. The other taxis are not metered and they'll try to negotiate with you. So, yep, I walked across the road and yeah, got a cab and it cost me, it was a 15-minute cab ride, I reckon. Saved me, no, maybe it wasn't, maybe it was a 10-minute cab ride. It saved me like a 25-minute walk in the heat. It cost me $2.60. Actually 26,000 rupiah. So it's probably around in dollars, probably about $22.40. That's cheap. And obviously the bus was free because old mate didn't want to take the money off me, so that was nice. Otherwise it would have been 50 cents. So I got from Denpasar Airport, which is the same airport as international, domestic's the same, for like technically around $3. That's pretty good because if you go from the airport, there's always a higher rate and all the things. But anyway, I just wanted to see if I could do it, and I did it. In Sydney, I try to take the local bus too because the bus is heaps cheaper than the private trains that go to the airport in Sydney. It costs you about $20 on the train because it's a private train in Sydney. And if you catch the bus, it's like $4. If you've got the time, it doesn't take too much longer, but sometimes, you got to swap change, from train to bus and a little bit of mucking around. So if you're tight with time, I always take the train because it's more expensive, but because it's more like I'm going to get there on time and not miss my bloody plane. So I somehow managed to go to Sydney a couple of times a year because my sister lives there, and they have a lot of raves down in Sydney where all the my favourite DJs play. There is another rave. Oh my God, look at this dog. It looks like it's got eyebrows. Look at it. See? Look, they're painted on. That's weird. Or they're tattooed on or something. That is really weird. Can you see that, guys? Is it me or is it just like they're painted on? That's not normal. The other dog doesn't have that. Mate, you've got tattooed eyebrows. Yeah, someone's painted that on or like... That's weird. Okay. What was I saying? Yeah, so I went in February. I think I was in Sydney for a week. That was great. Just catch up with my sister and just do some things. I always love going to Sydney. Sydney's a great place to visit. I'm from Brisbane and I love Brisbane too, but it's only a small little city, which I love. And I believe one of my favourite DJs is playing again, Gareth Emery, in June. So I may be going back in June. I don't know. I didn't book a ticket just because, oh well, I don't know. I just thought I've kind of had a pretty good year so far, right? I've been to Sydney, then I've been on this trip to Indonesia. I've been here for nearly 3 weeks. Tomorrow will be 3 weeks. And I've got 1 more week left. So I've just come back from the island of Flores and I'm so glad I went. It was such a good experience to see, a different part of Indonesia that I've never been to, the East Islands. It did remind me very much of the Philippine Islands and the Palawan Islands. Kind of similar area. And, obviously I love animals in the wild. So it was nice to see manta rays, while you're snorkeling. And I saw the famous Komodo dragons and some turtles, lots of fishies. That was good. So, but before I get too comfortable being back in Bali, I literally dumped my bag, went to the toilet, of course, and then I went across the road to have some food because I didn't really have lunch. I had my favourite kind of food. It's from a Sumatran kind of warung, local kind of food, but from the taste is from Sumatra, and Sumatra is where my mum's from, so I love my mum's cooking. So I had some food there, and then I walked down to one of the the people on the side of the road trying to sell you tours and stuff like that. I got talking to a guy a couple of weeks when I first got here about catching the good ferries over to the Gili Islands. So the Gili Islands are part of Lombok area, kind of the next islands over from Bali. So not part of Bali, but a different island. So yeah, I'm heading there tomorrow before I get too comfortable because I'm back staying at the hotel with a nice balcony, with a nice view where I like to paint. And I was kind of saying to myself, I'll just stay one night just to relax. But I thought, you know what? I like this dog. He's so cute. Look at him. He's so cute. So cute. What was I saying? Yeah, otherwise I would stay one night and then I'd get too comfortable and go, you know what, I'll just stay another night. And before you know it, I've only got 3 days left to leave till I have to fly home. And I'll be like, oh damn it, I should have went to the Gili Islands. And I've always planned to go to the Gili Islands on this trip. That was that was a major plan. I was definitely going to Bali, and part of that trip to Bali was going to go to Gili Islands. And Gili Islands will be lots of snorkeling. So we'll be definitely hitting the GoPro up and doing lots of snorkeling. Hoping to see the manta rays again because I'm obsessed. Now that I've seen a manta ray snorkeling, I'm like, wow. And when I was talking to the guy about booking my transfers, so I'm getting picked up tomorrow morning at 6:30 from my hotel. Got about an hour and a half drive to the port, which is, I can't remember the name of it. It's higher than Sanua though. And then you've only got an hour boat ride over to the islands. There's 3 islands. The boat only goes to the 2, Gili T and Gili Air, I believe, and Gili Meno. I think you have to hire a little boat to go over. So I plan to, I don't know, I'm not sure which one I'm going to stay at. I don't know. I'll do a bit of research tonight. I really do like to go to places and kind of just see where I end up. But tomorrow, I'm going to get there about lunchtime. It's going to be stinking hot. And the islands don't have transport, like it's walking, bicycles, or horse and cart. And I've been told that the horses are terribly looked after and like flogged and stuff like that. Like, yeah, I don't like, yeah, that doesn't sound nice to me. So I would be refusing to get on a horse. So I'll be walking, and I have to walk with my big backpack, right? So when I went to the island of Flores, I actually offloaded some stuff, things that I had extras of, like, I don't know, you know how sometimes you pack things you don't wear. I'm shocking, I always do that. So I don't know, I think I might even offload some more stuff, just so that my backpack's lighter. Because I'm only going to go for like, probably 3 or 4 days. So I don't probably need to take all my stuff. What I really should do is just take my little backpack, to be honest. And leave my big backpack. That's an option. That is an option. But on the way back, I was planning to go to Sanua and stay in Sanua for a night or two, because I've never been to there. So guys, I always kind of, I don't know, the reception blocks out in the next 50 metres. So that'll be perfect timing for me, because I'll go to the toilet and then I'll come back and we'll do a sunset live. Let me show the sunset. There we go. And then we'll do a sunset live, guys. So I might just turn off now before it blocks out. Obviously we're going to go see our mate Michael's Beach Bar, and Michael Jr. and get our free peanuts and a couple of beers, and hopefully we'll see our friend Madre and get a massage. Let's see if we can kick this back. Ooh, go the girl. She's got some skills, man. Skills, man. All right, I'm going. I'll see you later.